Hello, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Maya Colabella, and this video is just a short demonstration on a few of the things that CIS can do for you. I'm going to do my best to show you information that I think is going to be interesting to the members of the Long Island Water Convention. And I'll start by telling you just a little bit about Construction Information Systems. We're a project lead service that was started in 1991 and designed by Don Colabella from his perspective as a civil engineer, a project manager, and a project estimator. I'm going to get started by showing you our desktop. This is kind of the home page for our users. I'm not going to show you everything, but I am going to direct your attention to this part of the screen where we have our saved reports. It's broken up into our daily feed, which is what we get started for all of our users with. But then we also have down here custom reports that we put together ourselves. And that's what I'm going to be doing with you today. We're going to put together a custom project report where you can narrow down all of the leads that we have to show you just what's best for your company. So I'm going to go here to create a report. And then I'm going to click on projects. And this takes us to where we can begin refining the results. I'm going to make this an advanced report so that we have more options. What I'm going to start with is narrowing it down to projects that have been newly added to our site or updated within the past month, and all the current projects that are currently out to bid. And then I save those changes. And you can also refine by the categories of work and the type of work. If you specifically like working on hotels or schools or treatment plants, then you can make those adjustments. But I want to show you everything, so I'm not going to make any of those selections today. You can also refine by keyword, which is important because people at the Water Convention do some pretty specific work. So I'm going to show you that here you can kind of break up these keywords, break up the results into these keywords. Some of the members do plumbing work, so I'm going to hit plumbing. And these are some examples that we have. Waterproofing. And you can go through the different categories to see which in the keyword bank would be best for you. I think here it says tank and environmental. I think that's applicable. And see how once I clicked that, a whole bucket of keywords was dumped into this keyword bank over on the side. And if there's anything that you want to add yourself, say I want to add underground, then you can just type it in and add it. And then it'll show up. There it is. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else I want to be adding. Pump, water line, underground utilities. Let's look at utilities, underground heavy marine. Materials and equipment. Professional services. I think, yeah, pumps and wells. I remember that was supposed to be there. So this put together for us a long list of keywords, and that's going to make sure that what we're looking at in our project report is specific to the work that you're going to be interested in. You can also refine the results by areas. Since this is specifically for contractors working in Long Island, I'm going to only look at projects that are in Nassau and Suffolk County. But we do cover other areas. We cover all of New Jersey, New York City, Lower Hudson Valley, Eastern PA, and Delaware. And you can refine the results even further by specific owners or municipalities or agencies that you like working for, any certifications that you have, and whether you prefer to do public or private work. But again, I want to show you all the results, so we're going to leave that blank for now and review the report. And this is what we've come up with. And we've broken our reports into 5 different stages. We have pre-planning, planning, and negotiated are primarily private projects, and out to bid and bid results are primarily public projects. So we'll get started by looking at pre-planning. This is mostly conceptual plans, zoning changes. However, most of these projects are too early for the members at the Long Island Water Convention to be getting involved. So I won't go too much into this, but we can just take a look at the types of projects that we have. Self-storage, State College Center for Computer Science, Psychiatric Center redevelopment, transit-oriented development, parking lot, apartments. So I'm going to move us on to the planning stage now. This is where preliminary approvals have been given, more in-depth plans are in the works. Owners are probably now looking for GCs for the project. We'll take a look through these two: Atlantic Golf Club staff housing, Gesher Apartments and Retail, Parsons Corners at Lynbrook, residences at Sag Harbor. I'll take a look at this one. It has a $30 million cost estimate in Sag Harbor, of course. And in work included, it says with plumbing, sprinkler. Let's take a look at this description. There's a construction of a 3-story mixed-use building with 39 for sale residential units, 19 of which will be affordable. So this is just a sense of what we have in the description of the project. We'll be on 5 lots totaling 1.44 acres. And then we also have some information about the original plan. But again, a GC hasn't been named for this project yet. So I'm going to take us back and move us into looking at the out to bid stage. And out to bid and bid results are primarily public projects that we'll be looking at. So let's take a look through this. Well, piping replacement jumps out at me. So we can see here that the bid due date is today, December 5th, but we published this project on Halloween of this year. So October 31st, we gave our users over a month to put together a bid on this project. What we do is we have a team of reporters who find out a project and they put it on our site, just the nuts and bolts, so that you know about it right away. And then a separate team of reporters follows the project as it goes to the actually goes out to bid. So there are multiple updates on a project before it reaches bidding. As we add more and more information. We can see that there was a pre-bid meeting on the 14th, so we gave our users 2 weeks to make sure that they would be able to get to that. Let's look at this description. Replacement of the existing underground high temperature hot water and chilled water steel pipes. Okay, and we also see who the plan holders on this project are. I see a decent number of our clients around here actually. So let's go back and take a look at more projects that are out to bid. Treatment for PFAS, that's also a good one. Again, the bid due date is today, but we did publish it at the beginning of November, November 2nd. So over a month for them to put together a bid. There was a pre-bid meeting on the 17th. We gave them over 2 weeks to make sure they'd be able to make it. And here's a description of it. Wow, so this is a lot of well pump, environmental, tank work. This seems like a really great job for a lot of the members at Long Island Water Convention. Just gonna keep scrolling down. So in addition to a description, we're also often able to get the quantities on a project, which will help put together a more accurate bid. And plan holders, I showed you the plan holders on the last one, but this one makes a note that the owner wasn't willing to release plan holders. In that case, sometimes we still are able to get the plan holders on a project, whether it's our own clients listing themselves as plan holders on the project or our reporters calling around and finding out that information. I can see just here the first 3 are clients. Eldor Contracting, I also know they're a client. Let's take a look at them. So any contractor, you can be taken to their profile. Eldor, we have a synopsis of who they are, categories of work that they do. We also have contact information. You can click on it and email them directly. But the other information that you have is up here. You can see what projects that they're holding plans on. For one, they're currently holding plans on 8 projects. A lot of them are out to bid very soon, actually. If you do the type of work that Eldor does, you work on similar projects to them, then you can track them, quick track here, and this contractor will be saved in a folder in your desktop. And anytime that there's an update on Elder Contracting, every time they pick up plans, every time they place a bid, if they make a low bid, you'll be informed of that update. So we can see they are holding for the PFAS removal. They have renovation of the town hall annex. They have more PFAS treatment, fire district new storage building. So let's take a look at their low bids. They've had 76 low bids. That's a lot. We can take a look at their history, and 76 out of 246. Wow, so they've won a decent proportion of the bids. That's great. And you can take a look at other projects that they bid on. So I'm going to take us back to looking at the project we were looking at before, the wellhead treatment. Okay, so now we're back and out to bid. And so now I'm going to sort it so that we're looking at projects that are out to bid further out. I'm going to read through these, see if there are any that are interesting. Water treatment plant replacement, that's interesting. So this is a new project. We just posted this one today, and the bid due date is January 18th. So more than a month to get a bid together. So water treatment plants. So there's going to be a GC, an electric, and a plumbing contract on this one. So this could be a great opportunity for one of the water convention members that might not typically bid prime to bid prime. Because it looks like mostly we're on water storage tanks, all just for this water treatment plant. And as you can see, this project, this information is the nuts and bolts. It's new. We just got it uploaded onto the site. And then we're going to have that separate team of reporters follow this project until it goes out to bid on January 18th and keep adding more information as we go along. Let's take a look for some other projects. We have the Rehabilitate Sinclair Hall at SUNY Farmingdale, various trades, fire district, a storage building. That could be, so this was published on November 29th, goes out to bid a month from now, January 5th. There's a pre-bid meeting on the 14th. And there's a GC electric, a plumbing, and an HVAC contract opportunity to bid prime there as well. In this description, we see a lot of plumbing work, water utilities, underground for water utilities, tubing, fittings. So that could be something. Let's take a look at these quantities. And who are the plan holders? So here as well, I see a decent number of our clients are plan holders for this project. So I'm going to take us back. We're going to look at just one more cafeteria. Sanitary sewer by the Village of Garden City. We published this one November 28th, and this one's going out to bid on January 4th. There's a pre-bid meeting on the 7th, 2 days from now. We gave our users more than a week to make sure to make it. We see there's sanitary sewer work involved, environmental controls, dewatering, sewer piping. And let's take a look at these quantities, pipe supports, water main offsets. And all of these quantities are just to help make a better bid. Okay, so we've looked through a decent number of projects that are out to bid. Let's move on to bid results now. Those bid results are just like out to bid, mostly public. And we're gonna see the bid cost and who the winning contractor is and who else bid on the project. We have a team of reporters that are actually able to go to the bid meetings, and that's how they're able to have that information on the bidding amounts so immediately and so accurately for all of the bidders. So let's take a look at one of these. This bid was due yesterday and we already have the results for it. These were on the 30th, the 28th, and at some point between it being bid and today, the 5th, we had those on our site. Let's see. How about sewage treatment plant? This one looks good. It's a different size than what we've been looking at. There was a cost estimate of like 1.4 million, 1.9 million. And we can see that WHM got it for 747,000. What does this project entail? Wastewater treatment facility, circulation pump, okay. So you can take a look at what the winning bid was, but also who else bid, what they bid, what was left on the table, how good of a bid was it. And if it's a project that maybe you want to be a sub on, you can track it and stay updated about any changes made to the project, or have it put into a folder for you so that you can easily find it again and know who the English GC is and who to reach out to if you want to get involved in the project. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more. Underground storage tanks, reconditioning and redevelopment work of wells, treatment. This looks like a treatment plant. Oh, and this one's going to have multiple contracts, so we can take a look at that. We published this one on October 16th, the due date November 17th. And so we have a GC phase 1 contract, GC phase 2. So this was also WHM1 with this bid amount. And the total bid A1, the electrical, and we have a plumbing contract as well. So again, we have projects where there are opportunities to bid prime, even if you're not a GC. And anything else? No, it's a different one. Water main improvements for country club developers. This was one by Orchid. So it's like Orchid sewer and water contracting. We have the quantities on that one. So you can take a look at the quantities and see how good you think the bid was. So it was a very good bid. And a decent number of our clients bid on this. And again, if you're interested in becoming a sub on this project, you can just track it and it'll store it for you in a folder. Now that we've looked through a decent number of bid results, let's look at the last stage, which is negotiated. And now we're back to looking at mostly private work. This is any project that is private where a GC has, an owner has named a GC for the project. So it could be at any stage at this point. If it's still in the planning phase, but they've already found a GC, we move it to negotiated, and we follow these projects from in progress through to completed, making any updates as we go along. Let's take a look at one of these. Storage facility, outpatient surgery center, Seapoint Towers. Oh, this is a $1.5 to $4 billion project. That seems like that's going to have all kinds of work involved in it. This is the RXR Construction Development. They're the named GC. And it's in Northwell Health, biotech research space, office space, experiential retail, 600-seat cinema. So this is a very big project. And as you can see down the side here, we have an I'm interested section. This is where our clients can, if they click this, they name themselves as interested in being included in the project as a sub, and they know to either reach out to the contractor, or if our contractor is a client, they know who to reach out to for subs for an estimate on a project. So that's a pretty well interested list. Okay, so we've looked through that negotiated. Let's head back to our desktop. And I showed you our save reports are over here. Over here is where you can search for different projects. GCs and subs, material suppliers, equipment dealers, and other options. Here, as I was showing you while we were going along that custom report, tracking projects, tracking contractors, this is where that'll show up. And as you can see here, there's a little notification that 4 of my tracked projects have an update on them, and it won't go away until I view them. And tracked Aldor. And if you want to take any notes on them, contact about NASA Casino project, then you can save that in here, and it'll serve as a little reminder to go do that. And I'll bring this back to our desktop, and lastly, I'll show you our real-time project information. Here we can see that 66 projects were either added to our site today or good results were entered for today. And every time something new is entered, it shows up at the top as the day goes on. So that shows up in real time. And that's it for my demo with you today. I hope you got a good sense of the difference that CIS could make for you. And if you'd like to see more, please do reach out to me. I have my phone number and my email address over here. And again, my name is Maya Colabella, and thank you so much for your time.